How does some random-ass dude go from this
Even when my legs felt like they couldn't move. Even when my arms started making weird clicking noises, I kept doing push-ups.
to this? In just 3 years? Well, no one knows, himself included. But what we do know is that he's bald, powerful, and really bored. That's right, today we're covering the story of One Punch Man. One Punch Man is the answer to the question, what if a hero was overpowered as hell? And as you'll see, the answer is much more heartfelt and hilarious than you could ever imagine. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Episode 1 kicks off with a normal day in a city literally called City A, where a monster has started wreaking havoc. He looks a lot like Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z too. Anyway, knockoff Piccolo here is absolutely tearing the city apart. Some heroes try to stop him, but get whooped instantly. We then see a man watching this on the news, and he decides he'll help. As he steps into the sunlight, we get one of the coolest walkout moments ever. Ladies and gentlemen, this bald head is Saitama, the One Punch Man himself. Saitama heads over to Purple Piccolo and saves a little girl's life. He then tells Yard Sale Piccolo his backstory. Saitama is a hero for fun. Yeah, not the most inspiring message. Purple Piccolo here hears this and loses his mind. He says that is a pathetic backstory and starts waffling about his own, growing into an even bigger monster as he does. Seeing this, Saitama winds up a punch and completely obliterates him. Wow! As the dust settles, Saitama realizes he's defeated yet another enemy in one hit, and he screams in frustration. You might think that's weird, but you'll understand soon enough. You see, just 3 years ago, Saitama was your average guy. A fresh college grad, he was getting interviews everywhere, and getting rejected everywhere too. One day, after getting rejected from an interview, he runs into a crab monster. This guy ate too many crabs, so he turned into one. That's the kind of rules this world operates on. Anyway, Saitama wasn't scared of Crab Guy, so he spared Saitama's life, saying he was looking for a big-chinned kid anyway. On his way home, Saitama runs into the big-chinned kid and realizes the brat's life is in danger. So Saitama risks his life to save the kid. Saitama then stands up to the crab monster, saying he wanted to be a hero when he was a kid. The crab monster laughs and whoops Saitama around, until Saitama uses his tie to give the crab a brutal end. Yeesh. 3 years later, Saitama has done it. He trained so hard his hair fell off, and he's become an unbeatable hero just like he wanted to. And yet, something is missing. Anyway, Saitama is doing his groceries when a monstrosity straight out of Attack on Titan starts destroying the entire city. Turns out, some mad scientist came up with Titan formula and gave it to his younger brother. Together, they plan to take over the entire world. The older brother starts planning the takeover, standing on his brother's right shoulder, while the younger is just happy with how strong he's become. That's when they realize they have a problem. Saitama is standing on the left shoulder. The scientist asks his brother to destroy Saitama, only for the bozo to pick the wrong shoulder and crush his brother instead. Yikes! Titan Bro immediately goes into grieving and decides to take his anger out on Saitama. He slams the golden baldy through a building before jumping on him and punching him so many times it makes a crater. Good God! Afterwards, the younger bro says he's the strongest, but so what? And that's when Saitama jumps out of the crater. He agrees with the Titan before destroying it with just one punch. Wow! As it goes down, Saitama tells us the most depressing truth. Having insane, overwhelming strength is actually pretty boring. Damn! On his way home, Saitama thinks about his journey. Sure, he has all the power he ever wanted, but he doesn't feel emotions anymore. Anger, happiness, relief, he's out of touch with them all. Even though he can take monsters out with a single punch, it doesn't feel like crime is going down anytime soon. Still, as long as he gets a kick out of it, Saitama is okay with being a hero. The next day, Saitama wakes up to an unpleasant surprise. A hand grabbing him through the wall and punching him into the streets. That's where he meets his next adversaries. They're called the Subterraneans, a bunch of ugly underground creatures, and they're here to take over the surface. They then say no one has ever survived their punches, and Saitama says they have that in common. Badass. The fight begins, and I mean just look at this. Incredible animation, incredible choreography, as Saitama whoops the Subterraneans in the coolest way possible. They're putting up a fight though. This is the first time in years Saitama has been challenged, and he's loving every second of it. After taking out all the Subterraneans, Saitama stands breathless in the rain. This is the feeling he's been chasing for so long. And when the Subterranean King shows up, Saitama is ready to throw hands, only for the alarm to wake him up. Yeah, the whole thing was a dream. Saitama just goes outside to fight the real Subterraneans, only to see they're total wimps. Saitama just sighs and accepts it. He's become too strong. But as we'll see, there's still plenty for the strong to learn. The next episode starts with Saitama watering his cactus, while the news is giving him some bad news. Apparently, there's a huge outbreak of mosquitoes, and they're headed straight for City Z, aka where Saitama lives. Speaking of mosquitoes, one of them starts annoying Saitama, and we see how even a super-powered freak has issues getting rid of a single mosquito. Meanwhile, we see a very good-looking cyborg staring at the swarm of mosquitoes, and he means business. Elsewhere, some guy is robbing a store when he suddenly gets swarmed by mosquitoes. They suck every last drop of blood out of the guy, leaving him drier than my DMs. We then see who's controlling the mosquitoes, a weird mosquito lady that is making me question my beliefs. Anyway, Mosquito Lady is gathering blood from every living being she can using the mosquitoes. Unfortunately, the cyborg we saw earlier isn't a big fan of this plan. His name is Genos, and he's him. Genos attacks Mosquito Lady and their fight begins. They start going back and forth, and they're pretty evenly matched, with both of them being insanely powerful. Mosquito Lady tears off one of Genos' arms, but he takes both of her legs. Mosquito Lady realizes she's in trouble, so she calls mosquitoes from all around to feed her blood. Genos is about to attack the entire swarm when Saitama shows up, chasing his own mosquito. Genos tries getting Saitama to evacuate, but before he can, the mosquitoes drop down and swarm the city. That's goddamn horrifying. But the mosquitoes being grouped together make them an easy target for Genos, who blasts them all in one shot. Cool! Genos then realizes Saitama was unharmed by the blast. He just lost his clothes. But Genos doesn't have time to think about that, because Mosquito Lady is still alive. Not only that, but she's leveled up. She's way stronger than him now. Mosquito Lady begins attacking Genos, juggling him in the air with ease. Genos realizes he's messed up and has no way to win, so he chooses to self-destruct, hoping to take out Mosquito Lady with him. But before he does, Saitama slaps Mosquito Lady, making her explode in one hit. Saitama just smiles, because yeah, mosquitoes suck. Genos is shocked and knows what he has to do. He asks Saitama to be his master. Saitama agrees before realizing his mistake. The next day, Genos shows up at Saitama's apartment and shares his backstory. He's a 19-year-old who's mostly machine. He used to be a normal kid living a peaceful life until a rogue cyborg destroyed his town and killed his family. He was then taken in by Dr. Kuseno, the scientist that turned him into a cyborg. Ever since then, he's been chasing down that rogue cyborg. Unfortunately, Genos is doing the anime thing where you take way longer than necessary to explain your backstory, and it's pissing Saitama off. Saitama would hate Demon Slayer. Anyway, we then see where Mosquito Lady came from. Turns out, she was a prototype made by the House of Evolution, a hidden organization that is obsessed with, you guessed it, evolution. And the evil scientist in charge wants to study Saitama. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Genos has to shorten his story to 20 words or less, so he does. He needs Saitama's help to get stronger. Saitama agrees to take Genos as his disciple, saying the cyborg will surpass him in no time. That's when Genos senses targets approaching them. Suddenly, a bug-like creature breaks into Saitama's apartment, only to be destroyed in one punch. Ouch! Saitama takes out the two rascals outside too. He's mad at them for destroying his apartment. Real? That's when Saitama gets pulled into the ground, and Genos comes face to face with a cyborg. Genos faces the cyborg while Saitama is up against a lion monster and the mole that dragged him underground. They're all from the House of Evolution. Saitama has to take on the lion monster first, so he just gets out of the ground. Saitama cleans the dirt from his suit, and then the fight begins. Lion Guy launches his best attacks and combos at Saitama, but he just dodges them like they're all in slow motion. Saitama then unleashes his own combo, consecutive normal punches. He absolutely blasts Lion Guy to bits. He didn't even try. The mole then tries to escape, but Saitama takes it down too. Meanwhile, Genos has beaten the cyborg, which was really an armored gorilla. Saitama shows up and the gorilla folds under the pressure. He'll tell them anything, as long as they don't kill him. Looks like the House of Evolution isn't that powerful after all. The next episode starts with the armored gorilla telling Genos and Saitama all about the House of Evolution. It all started with a brilliant scientist named Genos. Though Genos was a genius, his ideas were never supported by anyone in the scientific community. Why? Because he wanted to evolve the human species, so he decided to do it himself. Genos spent his entire life working on it, and finally made his breakthrough when he was 70. Damn! First, Genos restored his youth, and then he cloned himself. Unfortunately, we don't know the rest, because the story is taking too long and Saitama runs out of patience. So, Genos tells the gorilla to sum it up in 20 words or less. Looks like Cyborg Bro is a fast learner. So, the gorilla tells them that Genos wants to study Saitama's body. Pause. Saitama says they'll head over there right now because there's a store discount sale tomorrow, which he can't afford to miss. Real. Before they leave, Genos asks the gorilla about the cyborg that attacked his town, but the gorilla doesn't know about it. Meanwhile, back at the House of Evolution, Genos and his clones are freaking out. Their entire team was demolished by Genos and Saitama, so Genos says they have no choice. They're gonna release Carnage Kabuto. And judging by the reactions, this guy is a problem. Meanwhile, Saitama and Genos make it to the House of Evolution, which Genos blasts away in one shot. Damn, bro, chill out. They find a passage going underground and head inside. Meanwhile, we see Carnage Kabuto, a hulking monstrosity that can obliterate humans with a single touch. After it destroys one of Genos' clones, Genos himself shows up. Genos has a job for Carnage Kabuto. He needs Kabuto to capture Saitama for him. Genos just has to study Saitama, and he's even willing to risk his life for it. This can't be good. Meanwhile, Saitama and Genos are making their way through the corridor when Kabuto comes running at him with Genos in his hand. He blasts Genos into the wall before inviting Saitama into a room nearby for a fight. Saitama agrees and they head there, but before they can start fighting, Genos shows up and starts blasting Kabuto. Unfortunately, his attacks do nothing to the monster. All Genos gets out of it is an ass whooping and a perm. Adding insult to injury, damn. Saitama saves Genos before getting up to fight. He's fired up now. While that's happening, an injured Genos makes his way to the battle room, thinking about all the struggles he's been through and how they'll all be worth it if he can study Saitama. He shows up just in time for the fight to begin. Saitama tells Kabuto not to disappoint him, so Kabuto speeds up and shows up behind Saitama for an attack. Just before he swings, Kabuto jumps back. Why? Because every instinct in his body told him he was going to die. He's terrified of Saitama and asks how the hell he got this strong. Genos asks the same question, so Saitama tells Genos to listen up too. Saitama reveals the truth. He got there through training, and with epic music playing in the background, Saitama reveals his training regimen. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day for 3 years. Really? Saitama says he did this without an AC in the summer or a heater in the winter, and he started becoming unbelievably strong. Unfortunately, Genos and the other two think this is bullshit. Genos asks Saitama to stop messing around. He needs the truth on how to get strong, not some basic strength training program. But Saitama is adamant. That's genuinely all he did. And I believe him. Carnage Kabuto doesn't though, and he's mad as hell. He starts powering up and turns into a monster straight out of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Video coming on that soon.
The Ava's reactivating.
I don't believe it! This can't be!
My God! Berserker.
Now in Carnage mode, Kabuto says he's gonna be like this for a whole week and won't stop rampaging until next Saturday. He then starts whooping Saitama and his face says it all. He's made a mistake. As Kabuto throws him around the room, Saitama thinks about his mistake. Kabuto says he'll be on a rampage for a whole week, till next Saturday, which means today is Saturday. And Saitama realizes that means the sale he was talking about earlier is today, and he obliterates Kabuto in one punch. Genos and Genos are dumbfounded. He's really worried about a damn sale? That's when Genos tells Saitama the store closes at 10 p.m. They can still make it. So, Saitama punches a hole in the wall and they run off. Seeing this, Genos decides he's done with evolution. After all, he's already seen the peak of humanity. And here I thought Saitama was in trouble. Episode 4 kicks off with a bald man named Hammerhead and his bald followers, the Paradisers, holding a protest. They're sick and tired of the capitalist rat race they're stuck in and want true freedom. Unfortunately, nobody gives a damn about them. So, Hammerhead decides to go and destroy the building of some rich asshat named Zenitsu. That'll send a message. Hammerhead and his goons use their battlesuits to do just that, only to realize they destroyed the wrong building. Still, with a positive mindset, they head on to Zenitsu's real building. How about all the damage you just caused, jackasses? Meanwhile, there's a cyclist helping a kid get his balloon out of a tree. He does that before smiling and cycling away. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the best character in the show. You just don't know it yet. Anyway, Saitama is watching the report about the Paradisers on TV and doesn't give a rat's ass until the reporter tells everyone to stay away from all bald men. Saitama instantly suits up. He needs to protect his reputation. Speaking of the Paradisers, they're wreaking havoc across town when the cyclist from earlier shows up. His name is Mumen Rider, and he's the cyclist for justice. Unfortunately, he has no superpowers and gets instantly smacked. Yes, this is the best guy, just wait and see. Anyway, the rich asshat Zenitsu is wondering how to deal with the Paradisers. Lucky for him, he has a ninja acting as a bodyguard, and he is more than happy to take over. Ooh, this guy looks cool. As Hammerhead and his lackeys make their way to Zenitsu's tower, they're suddenly ambushed by the ninja. His name is Speed of Sound Sonic. I wish I was joking. And yes, he's super fast. He begins attacking the Paradisers, and they instantly realize they're outmatched. They can't even see Sonic. As all his men start getting taken out, Hammerhead tosses a rock at Sonic. It misses, but it's enough to tell Saitama their location. While the poor bastard is being called a terrorist by the locals just cause he's bald, come on guys, he's clearly a hero. Back with Hammerhead, he does his best to limit Sonic's movement and tries crushing him with a tree, only to end up with a kunai in the back of the head. Ouch! Sonic reports that the job is done, but realizes that Hammerhead got away. Turns out, he has a much thicker skull than the average human. He really is a Hammerhead. On his escape, Hammerhead runs into Saitama. This is gonna be fun. Meanwhile, Genos is getting repairs from Dr. Kuseno while telling him all about Saitama. The doctor is impressed and says that Genos' new implants might make him even stronger than Saitama. Yeah, right. Back with Hammerhead, he asks Saitama if he's here to join the Paradisers, but Saitama says it's the opposite. He's here to stop them. So Hammerhead unleashes the full raw power of his suit and attacks Saitama, who just destroys the suit in one punch. But Saitama feels bad for Hammerhead. He's a lot like Saitama, and not just because of the bald head. So Saitama tells Hammerhead to stop being such a bad boy, and Hammerhead agrees, running away. Phew, that guy should be dead twice by now. That's when Sonic shows up and attacks Saitama twice, with Saitama calmly stopping both attacks. Sonic accuses Saitama of being a paradiser, and Saitama says he's a hero, but Sonic doesn't care. Saitama stopped his attacks, and Sonic's gonna kill him for it. Sonic starts zooming all around Saitama, taunting him for not being able to keep up with his speed. Unfortunately for Sonic, Saitama can keep up with his speed. Not only that, but Saitama accidentally hits Sonic in the family jewels. Ow! Every guy watching this felt that. Ooh! Sonic, now defeated and embarrassed, declares Saitama his rival and says he'll be back stronger. Saitama tells him to do his best and Sonic disappears. Later that night, Saitama tells Genos he has a huge problem. Nobody knows who he is. Saitama has been fighting crime for 3 years, and no one has defeated more baddies than him, but he has no fan club, no PR, and no credit. In fact, even today, Mumen Rider was credited with beating the Paradisers. That's when Genos realizes the issue. Saitama isn't signed up with the Hero Association. In the world of One Punch Man, the Hero Association employs and manages superheroes. They make sure the world is safe and that the heroes get paid. Genos isn't signed up either, so Saitama makes him a deal. If Genos signs up with him, Saitama will make him his apprentice for real. Genos agrees and the plan is set. We then see Hammerhead getting taken out by some mean-looking cyborgs. They talk about working for some organization and how Hammerhead stole his suit from them. Luckily, Hammerhead's thick skull bails him out for a 3rd time today, and he promises to get a real job after this. Well, looks like people can change. Episode 5 kicks off with the Hero Association, the company that employs all the heroes having a meeting. After getting regular stuff out of the way, they discuss the upcoming exams. There are more than 11,000 people taking the exam, but they're interested in one of them. It's Genos, not Saitama. Because, nobody knows who Saitama is. It's time for the exams, and as you can imagine, Saitama is in a class by himself. Side-to-side jumps, sprinting, shot put, vertical leap, punching machine, whack-a-mole. Saitama absolutely shatters the records in all of them. Hell, some guys just see how good Saitama is and give up. Dude is clearly built different. After the test, Saitama and Genos wait for their results. When they get them, Genos scored 100 out of 100. He got full marks in the written and physical exams. But while Saitama did get full marks in the physical, he barely passed the writing portion. He got 71 out of 100, and 70 is the passing grade. So Genos gets placed in S class, the highest possible rank, while Saitama is in C class, the lowest possible rank. Yikes! Still, Saitama isn't too bothered, and he just says they should get it over with and go home. Meanwhile, a dashing man is going over Genos' file, and I don't like him. Back with Saitama and Genos, they're getting their introduction seminar by Snek, an A-class hero. One problem, Genos and Saitama don't give a rat's ass about the seminar, and Snek hates that. On the way back, Genos says that now that they have both passed the exam, Saitama has no choice but to take Genos on as his apprentice, something Saitama is already regretting. Meanwhile, Snek is ranting about Saitama and Genos to a Hero Association officer, who gives Snek a reality check. Genos is already S-class, above Snek, and while Saitama barely passed, his physical results were staggering. It's like a god lives inside Saitama. Hearing this, Snek decides to chase down Saitama and kick his ass, only to be smacked down. Ouch! The next day, Saitama and Genos are talking about the whole hero thing, before Genos tells Saitama to lock in. They're gonna have a sparring match. Genos tells Saitama to not hold back and charges up his new implants. The sparring begins, and it is just some of the coolest animation you have ever seen! Genos goes all out, doing anything and everything he can to land a hit on Saitama, but no matter what the handsome cyborg does, Saitama either dodges it or blocks it. Genos is starting to get frustrated and goes all out, only for Saitama to show up behind him, joking around. This makes Genos mad, and he asks Saitama to take the fight seriously. So Saitama does and disappears. He then shows up behind Genos and throws a punch with death written all over it. Saitama then stops the punch an inch from Genos' face before saying they should go get food. As Genos looks behind him, he sees an empty ravine where a whole mountain used to be. Genos wants to get stronger, but it's here that he admits he's never even getting close to Saitama, not in a million years. It's not all doom and gloom though, because Genos does beat Saitama at something, an udon eating competition. After they're done, the good-looking fella that was checking Genos' file shows up. Turns out, he's Amai Mask, the #1 ranked A-class hero, and he's here to talk to Genos. So, Genos steps outside for a word with him. He comes back pretty fast too. I wonder what happened. Well, as they're walking home, we see what happened. Basically, Amai Mask welcomed Genos in the most threatening way possible. You see, Amai Mask is a hero, a singer, and an actor. He believes most heroes should be beautiful symbols of justice, and he was just letting Genos know that. Yeah, I do not like this guy's vibe. Anyway, Genos tells Saitama he'll be back later and heads off. Genos then shows up with all his stuff. He wants to live with Saitama. He has rent money too, so Saitama agrees, reluctantly. Imagine being roomies with your own student who also happens to be your senior at work. The next episode starts with Saitama and Genos sitting at home. Saitama is just reading manga, while Genos is trying to piece together where Saitama got all his power from. Cause it ain't no damn push-ups, that's for sure. Saitama feels bad about this. He literally has nothing to teach Genos. That's when Genos gives Saitama some bad news. C-class heroes who aren't active for a week get fired, and Saitama's been on his ass for 5 days. Saitama immediately gets dressed and heads out. Genos wants to join him, but Saitama refuses. If an S-class hero is with him, Saitama will get 0 credit. Still, Genos wants to be Saitama's disciple, but Saitama just tells Genos to aim for the top 10 of S-class as his next goal. It's bullshit, but Genos buys it. Saitama spends the entire day looking for bad guys and finds nothing, so he decides he'll worry about it tomorrow. The next day, Saitama is itching for someone to fight, but he's coming up empty-handed until Sonic shows up. Unfortunately, Saitama isn't interested in their grudge match and just walks away. That's when the C-class hero Tank Top Tiger shows up. Apparently, Saitama looking for crime has bothered some citizens, and Tank Top Tiger is here to kick his ass, even though Saitama is a hero too. Unfortunately for the buff guy, Sonic takes him out with some exploding shurikens. Sonic then starts attacking the town, forcing Saitama to fight him. It's only after Sonic destroys a bunch of stuff that Saitama realizes Sonic is a bad guy he can take down. So he does, and gets another week on the job. Whew! Meanwhile, we see the Hero Association HQ, where they're discussing a ghost town in City Z. That's when Tatsumaki shows up. She's an Esper, aka someone with psychic abilities, and she's S-class rank 2, literally the second best on the planet. The only reason she's here is to show us who she is. Strong, stubborn, and very rude. I still like her though. Back at the Hero Association, they're talking about all the cities and the crime reports. While things have been pretty quiet for the most part, City Z, aka where Saitama and Genos live, have some reports of a ghost town. So the Hero Association has sent 2 A-class heroes, Spring Mustachio and Golden Ball, to check it out. So the 2 heroes make it to City Z, right outside Saitama's apartment. After calling the place a dump and saying no human could live here even if they tried, ouch, they suddenly sense someone behind them and go check it out. Also, here's Genos in a maid outfit cleaning a toilet. I love this show. Anyway, Mustachio and Golden Ball run into a monster and they immediately start fighting. Unfortunately, the monster is a menace and immediately takes out Golden Ball. How do you become an A-class hero with a slingshot anyway? Mustachio pulls out his sword and begins deflecting all of the monster's attacks. Now that's an A-class hero. Spring Mustachio then unleashes his special move, only for the monster to dodge it. Mustachio calls in backup while distracting the monster. He knows he's in trouble. The heroes that receive the signal pair up and head to the area. They're ready to fight. In the meantime, Mustachio is getting his ass whooped. As he passes out, the monster starts leaving until it sees Saitama coming back from the store and attacks him. We can guess how that ended. Sure enough, the backup heroes arrive and can't find any trace of a monster, just a huge hole in an abandoned building. Saitama rocked the stupid monster. Here, we see one of Saitama's biggest issues. Since he's an idiot, he doesn't actually realize when he's done a good job and doesn't take credit for it. The following episode sees the Hero Association in full panic mode. A meteor is approaching Earth. They call in Genos, so he heads out, as the meteor comes closer by the second. Genos shows up at the Hero Association building, only to find it completely empty. There, he meets Bang, S-Class Hero number 3, and a certified badass. Bang tells Genos about the meteor and tells him to evacuate from the city. They can't stop it. But Genos isn't giving up that easily. He heads to the roof and puts on his new arms. He's gonna blast the meteor out of the sky. But before he can, he's interrupted by S-Class Rank 7 hero Metal Knight. Metal Knight doesn't give a rat's ass about City Z. Hell, he's not even here in person. He's controlling a drone. He just wants to test out his new missiles on the meteor, so he does, and Genos can't shoot the meteor with his missiles in the way. The firepower from the missiles is big, but not nearly enough to stop the meteor. Genos prepares to blast the meteor, but starts overthinking it. What if he fails? That's when Bang shows up. He can sense Genos' lack of confidence. Bang tells Genos he's way too young to worry about success or failure. He should just give it his all. What a Chad! So, Genos takes the advice to heart and literally puts everything he has into an insane blast. Unfortunately, even that isn't enough to stop the meteor. Genos drops to the ground, defeated, and asks Bang to evacuate. But before Bang can respond, guess who shows up? Yup, Caped Baldy has arrived. Saitama is here. He tells Bang to take care of Genos before flying up and absolutely demolishing the meteor with, you guessed it, just one punch. Wow! The pieces of the meteor still hit the city, but not a single person died. As a result, Genos moves from rank 17 to 16 in S-Class, while Saitama jumps all the way from 342 to 5 in C-Class. Genos then explains threat levels. Basically, every major threat is classified into one of 4 categories: Tiger, Demon, Dragon, and God. The meteor was a dragon-level threat, which is basically the second worst thing that can ever happen. So Saitama gets a lot of credit. The only reason he's not in S-Class right now is because Genos and Metal Knight got some unfair credit. Saitama doesn't care too much though. After all, he just showed up to help like heroes do. What a man. Genos starts recording Saitama's wisdom like a madman. He's inspired by his master. Saitama, meanwhile, decides to step out in the city. There, he meets Tank Top Tiger and Tank Top Black Hole, who have a serious problem with Saitama. They're jealous of him jumping up in the ranks, and they want to make him pay. But they don't fight him. Instead, they start blaming him for the destruction of the city. The citizens are total idiots who agree with these two bozos and start booing Saitama, asking him to quit being a hero. Meanwhile, Genos sees the hate Saitama is getting online and realizes he needs to go help his sensei. Back with Saitama, Bang watches him get blamed for all these problems from a distance. Bang knows it's not fair, and he acknowledges Saitama as the strongest man he's ever seen. Damn, that's high praise. That's when the Tank Tops decide to end his humiliation by fighting him. Unfortunately for them, they get smacked around. Tank Top Black Hole even admits he was lying about the whole thing, but Saitama doesn't give a damn. After he's done with the Tank Tops, Saitama tells all the civilians booing him to blame the damn meteor for destroying their city. Real. He then says he doesn't do this hero thing for admiration, he does it because he wants to. That's when Genos shows up and tells Saitama they should leave. So they do. On the way home, Genos tells Saitama he's incredible, and that even if the world hates Saitama, Genos will still follow him. The perfect student for the not-so-perfect hero. What a duo! Episode 8 starts with a big-ass octopus monster attacking City Z. He's wrecking shit left and right, saying the Sea Folk clan are here to take over the world. Unfortunately for him, Saitama shows up and destroys him. Mumen Rider also shows up just in time to see the dead monster and starts doing some research on Saitama. Meanwhile, other sea monsters start attacking as well. To fight them, A-class hero Stinger shows up, ready to do battle. Meanwhile, Genos tells Saitama that he's made it all the way up to rank 2 in C-class. He'll be in B-class soon enough. That's when Genos gets a call about the Sea Folk in City J. Stinger is fighting them alone and he's at his limit. Speaking of Stinger, while he is tired, he's also a badass, and he manages to take out the monsters in one final attack. He's celebrating his victory until another sea monster takes him out. This guy is Deep Sea King, and he's a menace. Meanwhile, Genos and Saitama make their way to City J, and Mumen Rider is doing the same. Genos goes ahead to gather intel, leaving Saitama alone. Meanwhile, another hero named Lightning Max is spying on the Deep Sea King, until he gets ambushed by him. The gap in power is clear. Lightning Max doesn't stand a chance. He gets pummeled and is sent falling to his death, until he's saved by a guy in prison clothes. His name is Puri Puri Prisoner, and he's an S-class hero. What's an S-class hero doing in prison? Puri Puri Prisoner isn't alone though. Sonic followed him out of prison as well. Turns out, Puri Puri Prisoner is in jail because he just can't resist going after beautiful men. That's also why he's mad at the Deep Sea King. The bastard took out Stinger and Lightning Max, two real lookers. So with Sonic watching, the Booty Warrior starts fighting the Deep Sea King. Being an S-class hero, with some serious and questionable flair, he exchanges some punches with the Deep Sea King. But after seeing the monster's power, Puri Puri Prisoner decides to go all out by being naked. Like I said, questionable flair. He unleashes an insane combo on the Deep Sea King, and even Genos picks up on it. But the Deep Sea King is unaffected, and he proceeds to land a combo of his own, absolutely mauling Puri Puri Prisoner and sending his ass flying. It starts raining, and Deep Sea King decides to take on Sonic next. But no matter what the Deep Sea King tries, he can't lay a finger on the ninja. He's too damn fast. Unfortunately for Sonic though, the rain has given the Deep Sea King a power buff. So much so that it's almost like the guy's fighting in water. He's way faster now, which means Sonic is in big trouble. Meanwhile, Mumen Rider is still making his way to City J when he sees Saitama at a red light. The two goats finally meet. We then see the jackass Amai Mask on TV promoting his new song. The interviewer asks him about the attack currently happening, and he just spews some bullshit on heroes acting swiftly and blah blah blah. Just shut up, you blue-haired tool. Anyway, Sonic manages to get away from the Deep Sea King, promising to be back with a weapon. On his way out, Sonic runs into Genos and tells him it's useless. All the heroes put together couldn't kill this monster. We'll see about that. Meanwhile, Genos pinpoints the Deep Sea King's location. He's at an emergency shelter. The Deep Sea King breaks into the shelter, ready to kill everyone. One of the heroes there tries bargaining with him, but this evil sicko only wants death and destruction. That's when 3 other heroes show up, including Snake. Together, they get ready to launch an all-out attack on the Deep Sea King and keep him busy long enough for the S-class heroes to get here. Meanwhile, Saitama and Mumen Rider are heading to the city, while Saitama sees Sonic zoom by them, so he goes off to check it out. Mumen Rider gets a call about the Deep Sea King being at the shelter and heads over there, dropping his phone on the road. Back with the heroes, they've been absolutely pummeled by the Deep Sea King, who's ready to end the civilians. Lucky for them, an S-class hero has shown up. It's Genos. Let's go! Meanwhile, Saitama comes back to find Mumen Rider's phone on the floor. He answers it to find the association on the other side, begging Mumen Rider to not go to the shelter. But after realizing it's Saitama, they inform him of the situation, and the look on his face says it all. The next episode is called Unyielding Justice, and you're about to see why. It opens with Genos wasting no time and absolutely blasting the Deep Sea King. The civilians start cheering. Genos has won, or so they think. The Deep Sea King suddenly attacks Genos, who let his guard down. Because he was cocky, Genos has lost an arm and is seriously hurt now. God damn it! Meanwhile, Saitama is filled in on what's happening, while Mumen Rider makes his way to the shelter. Genos tells the civilians to run away while he holds off the Deep Sea King. What follows is an insane fight, and you guessed it, crazy animation. Genos is giving the Deep Sea King the business, pulling out all the tricks he has to give this cold carp a taste of his own medicine. Unfortunately, the Deep Sea King attacks a little girl with acid, and Genos has no choice but to sacrifice himself to save her. No! Now missing both arms, Genos is at the Deep Sea King's mercy, as he tosses Genos around like a sack of potatoes. He's about to finish Genos off, when a bicycle hits him from behind. Mumen Rider is here. The outcome is about what you'd expect. Deep Sea King just casually does a Hulk versus Loki on his ass. And I know what you're asking. This guy is your GOAT? But that's when something crazy happens. Mumen Rider gets back up. The Deep Sea King tosses him again, and Mumen Rider is now a bloody mess with multiple broken bones. But you know what he does? This crazy bastard gets up again. Mumen Rider says he knows what's going to happen. He's a C-class hero who's not even good enough for B-class, let alone being good enough to take down the Deep Sea King. But none of that matters to Mumen Rider, because he's a hero, and a hero doesn't give a damn about rankings or facing death. He does his best till the very end, no matter what. I have tears in my eyes. This regular-ass lame guy who drives a damn bicycle is more of a hero than the most powerful heroes in all of fiction. The civilians see his bravery and start cheering him on. Mumen Rider gets motivated and charges in for one final attack, only to be punched into the air again. He gave it his all. But Mumen Rider doesn't hit the ground, because Saitama catches him. Saitama, being a Chad himself, recognizes Mumen Rider's bravery and praises him for it. He then sees Genos, and after confirming he's alive, decides to take on the Deep Sea King. The monster lands a punch on Saitama that doesn't affect him at all. The Deep Sea King then starts giving his evil speech, but Saitama doesn't care. So they exchange punches, and Saitama punches him so hard that not only does he blow a hole in the Deep Sea King, the force of his punch literally pushes all the clouds away and makes it stop raining. Are you serious? Everyone is in a total state of shock, except Genos, of course. He's just smiling. Later, Genos and Saitama are back home when they get some mail delivered to them. While Genos gets a lot of fan mail, all Saitama gets is a letter calling him a fraud. Huh? If you're confused, let me explain. You see, after he destroyed the Deep Sea King, all the civilians were there praising Saitama, giving him all the credit. Unfortunately, there was a cynical smartass in the crowd, and he decided to open his mouth. He started by saying that if a C-class hero could beat the monster all by himself, that means all the other heroes that failed were useless weaklings. He says they deserve no credit as heroes, because a hero doesn't just fight bad guys, a hero stops them. I disagree. This guy's a real douchebag. Saitama hears all of this, and he does not want to take all the credit, even though he earned it. So Saitama does the unthinkable. He says that the heroes before him softened up the Deep Sea King. All he did was deliver the final blow. The civilians all start calling him a fraud, but they end up giving the other heroes more credit, which is exactly what Saitama wanted. Genos feels for his master though. Saitama really is a selfless guy. It's not all bad news, however. Saitama does get one piece of fan mail, but more importantly than that, he's been promoted to C-Class Rank 1, and now has the option to move up to Class B. He does have to give an interview for it, so he heads over to the association to do that. Amai Mask is informed of Saitama's promotion, but he doesn't care. He only wants to know about A-Class and above, since those are the guys that actually matter. But when Amai Mask sees how Saitama took down the Deep Sea King, the look on his face is screaming curiosity. Meanwhile, Saitama heads back home after getting the promotion and stops for a bite to eat. There, he meets his fellow GOAT. Mumen Rider is there. Mumen Rider says he's the one that sent Saitama that fan mail. What's more, he wants to treat Saitama to a meal to celebrate his promotion. So, in a quiet udon shop with nobody watching and barely anybody knowing them, two of the greatest heroes on the planet share a meal, and there's something beautiful about that. The following episode starts with a prehistoric dinosaur monster waking up from its sleep, and with the Deep Sea King gone, it's ready to take over the world. But to do that, it has to get through Tatsumaki, and we're going to learn that that is easier said than done. Just as Tatsumaki's about to start fighting, she gets a call summoning her back to the Hero Association HQ, and she's pissed. The dinosaur also gets mad at Tatsumaki and attacks her as soon as the call ends. Tatsumaki dodges easily, but the dinosaur says she'll need a damn meteor to destroy him. So Tatsumaki obliges and uses her Esper powers to make a giant meteor crash onto the dinosaur. Jesus Christ, she's strong! Meanwhile, Bang is pitching his dojo to Genos and Saitama, but neither is interested in martial arts. This offends Bang's student, Charanko, who challenges Genos to a fight and instantly gives up. Damn. Bang reveals that he used to have a lot of top students, but when Bang's best disciple Garou went rogue, he beat up Bang's other students and took them out. Bang whooped Garou in return and expelled him, so Charango is all he's got left. We'll learn a lot more about Garou in Season 2. Anyway, that's when a man from the Hero Association shows up to invite Genos and Bang to an urgent meeting at HQ. Saitama joins them too, and there we meet another S-Class hero, Atomic Samurai. How cool is that name? They also meet Tatsumaki, who hates Saitama just because he's a B-Class hero. How rude! Anyway, the meeting starts and almost all the S-Class heroes are there. Metal Bat, Tank Top Master, Flashy Flash, Watchdog Man, Super Alloy Blackluster, Pig God, Drive Knight, Zombie Man, King, and Child Emperor are all there, as well as the heroes we've met before, like Puri Puri Prisoner. The only people missing are Metal Knight and the #1 ranked hero in the world, Blast. A man named Sitch shows up and gives them the news. Madame Shibabawa is dead. So, who was this old hag? Basically, she was a fortune teller that predicted disasters and monster attacks, and her predictions, though few, were 100% accurate. Before she died, Shibabawa wrote down one final prediction: the Earth is in trouble. Well, that's vague. But Sitch tells us how it works. Every prediction from Shibabawa takes place within 6 months. That means it could happen 6 months from now, tomorrow, or even today. That's when everyone hears explosions. The HQ is under attack by the Sky King, a random-ass cartoon villain who wants to get rid of the Hero Association. But the Sky King and his disciples get cut in half. And that's when we see the real threat. A flying, multi-headed monster and a huge, and I mean huge, alien spaceship. Oh, brother, this is bad. City A gets wiped out in an instant by the ship. 2 people survive, but the monster is about to take them out, until one of Atomic Samurai's students, Ian, saves them. Meanwhile, the heroes are figuring out a plan of action, but Saitama has already left the building and is making his way to the spaceship. Back with Ian, he's struggling against the monster. It cuts off his arm before splitting into multiple monsters. Ian looks done for, until Atomic Samurai saves him. He's cool as hell. The only problem is the monsters can regenerate and they merge into one abomination. But the heroes aren't that easy to deal with, because Bang, Metal Bat, and Puri Puri Prisoner join the fight. Genos and the other heroes are trying to figure out a way to attack the ship, but can't come to an agreement. Tatsumaki says she'll take it out herself, but Genos isn't worried. After all, Saitama is already on the ship, which means it's going to be coming down soon. Speaking of Saitama, he's wreaking havoc and destroying aliens. And all the while, the leader of the ship is sitting on his throne, waiting. And he looks evil. Episode 11 starts with the leader of the ship, Lord Boros, heading to the control room. There, he learns that Saitama is busting through his ship, and has even taken out one of his top lieutenants. But Boros isn't worried. As long as the power sphere is safe, the ship won't go down, whatever that means. Meanwhile, as the world reacts to the ship flying over City A, Puri Puri Prisoner has blown a bunch of holes in this multi-headed monster, who's called Melzergard. Unfortunately, Melzergard keeps regenerating, so the other heroes jump in too, and we finally get to see Bang in action. And, to absolutely nobody's surprise, he's a total badass. A part of Melzergard tries going to the ship to order an attack on the heroes, but Metal Bat smacks it like he's Shohei Ohtani and stops it. Melzergard is then called back to the ship. Saitama has become a big problem. So, Melzergard asks the ship to drop bombs on the heroes. Meanwhile, Eon tells the heroes that attacking Melzergard is useless. The bastard just keeps regenerating. But these are S-Class heroes we're talking about. They're not stopping until they completely destroy Melzergard. The squid-looking alien on the ship agrees to bomb the heroes. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Metal Bat figures out how to take out Melzergard. Every head has a marble inside it, and if they destroy all the marbles, he'll go down. With his secret exposed, Melzerguard seriously needs help, but the alien squid is just preoccupied because Saitama has made his way to the control room. Squid Alien tries destroying Saitama with his gravity attack and his telekinetic powers, but that doesn't even make Saitama sweat. He just says those powers are lame and that anyone could do what he's doing. Ouch! Also, for those wondering, Squid Alien has a name, but I'm not even gonna try to write or pronounce it, cause he doesn't matter that much anyway. Saitama then uses a pebble to destroy the Squid Alien before asking some other aliens where the boss's room is. Meanwhile, the heroes are kicking Melzerguard's ass. When Child Emperor identifies a problem, the ship is powering up. And that's because the attack Melzerguard asked for is about to happen. The shells are launched and the heroes have absolutely no chance of stopping them. They're doomed, but you know who can stop them? A certain annoying brat. Yeah, Tatsumaki is here! She effortlessly stops the shells before sending them back at the ship. She's so damn OP. Meanwhile, some familiar faces show up. Mumen Rider, Lightning Max, and Stinger all help rescue civilians from City A. We then cut back to the battle where Bang and the others are cooking Melzerguard, and now he only has one ball left. Pause. Unfortunately, Bang lets his guard down and gets smacked through multiple walls. Well, we had a good run, old man. See ya in heaven. Melzerguard then closes in on the other heroes, saying he'll be giving them the same treatment. Oh boy. Back on the ship, Saitama makes it to Lord Boros' throne room. There, Boros introduces himself as the dominator of the universe and tells Saitama his backstory. Basically, Boros is a lot like Saitama. He became so strong that every fight just bored him. That's when a fortune teller told him he'd find his match on Earth. Since then, Boros has spent 20 years getting to Earth in the hopes that he'd find this strong warrior. And now, face to face with Saitama, he's found his opponent. Saitama hears this and just punches him into the wall. He thinks Boros is crazy, obviously, but Boros is still alive. Huh? Not only that, but he's completely unharmed. With his suit now gone, Boros starts powering up and tells Saitama to prepare himself. He survived a punch? This guy might actually be a problem. The last episode of Season 1 wastes no time in getting to the action, with Saitama and Boros throwing hands immediately. Though Boros is incredibly powerful, their first exchange ends with him losing an arm. Saitama is just built different. Meanwhile, Tatsumaki is continuing her assault on the ship, chucking all sorts of rubble at it. Genos and the others are watching her, and Drive Knight says he's going to head out. But before he does, he gives Genos a warning. Metal Knight is your enemy. I knew there was something off about that jackass. Anyway, Melzerguard is putting the pressure on the heroes until Bang walks back in, saying the stiffness in his shoulders is gone. Is this old geezer made of steel? Melzerguard can't believe that Bang is basically unscathed and just looks at the man in shock. That is enough of a distraction for Atomic Samurai to slice up Melzerguard. Bang then jumps in, grabs Melzerguard's last ball, and destroys it, taking him down. S-Class Chads. Meanwhile, Boros is turning up the heat on Saitama. Even with one arm, he's putting all the pressure on him and is getting some pretty good looking hits in. Their fight eventually leads them outside the ship, where Boros heals his arm and then goes into his evil speech mode. Saitama just tells him to shut up and asks if that's all he's got. Damn! So, Boros channels every last ounce of energy he has and unleashes it on Saitama. He smacks him left and right, tossing our OPMC like a ragdoll. Eventually, after landing some of the most devastating hits you've ever seen, Boros knees Saitama in the stomach, before sending him to outer space. And wouldn't you know it, Saitama lands on the moon. How is he still alive? Not only is Saitama alive, he's completely unbothered. He just checks out zero gravity using a rock before jumping right back towards Earth. Back with Boros, he's thinking about how using all his power is dangerous when Saitama crashes down in front of him. The ship begins falling, and everyone thinks it's Tatsumaki's doing, but she knows she didn't do that. Saitama then starts fighting Boros, and now Boros is the one against the wall. After a series of normal punches, Boros regenerates and says he's had enough. He pours everything he has into a single blast. He's gonna take out Saitama and Earth with him. So, for the first time ever, Saitama does the unthinkable. He throws a serious punch. The punch gets rid of Boros' beam, destroys Boros, levels the ship, and literally splits the clouds for the entire world. God damn! The ship starts falling, and a dying Boros asks if their battle was a good one. Saitama says it was, but Boros knows he's lying. Saitama wasn't even trying. With that, Saitama walks away, and the ship falls to the ground, as the S-Class heroes escape its crash radius. Almost everyone is glad with the outcome here. Almost. Because Amai Mask shows up, and he is pissed. He demands answers about what happened from the S-Class heroes, so they tell him. And this posh prick, who was filming a TV show while they were fighting, says they all suck at being heroes and they should be ashamed of themselves. Wow, the nerve on this guy! He pisses off Metal Bat, who's ready for a fight, until Metal Knight shows up out of nowhere. Why is he here? To gather the alien machinery and make more powerful weapons. And Genos knows he's up to no good. Metal Bat and Amai Mask's fight is postponed for now, and Amai Mask proceeds to kill some alien survivors. He then calls Genos a disappointment before leaving. I hate this guy's guts. Anyway, that's when Genos realizes Saitama is missing. Not to worry though, because he pops out of the ship completely unharmed. Tatsumaki wants to know how a B-class hero got inside the ship himself, but Genos and Saitama completely ignore her. So, she starts insulting them, and Genos insults her back, which leads to him getting flattened. Ouch! Bang manages to stop her before she can go against Saitama. I so want to see that though. Anyway, some time passes, and City A is turned into a much larger and impenetrable HQ for the Hero Association, with roads leading out of it so heroes can get to every city on time. Sometime later, we see another dragon-level threat attacking, and it's wreaking havoc all over the place. A kid is about to be crushed by it, when he's suddenly saved by Genos. The monster asks who it is, so Genos tells him, a great man who's a hero for fun and profit. That's when Saitama pops up and destroys the monster in one punch. Wow! Genos just smiles at the kid he's saved, but Saitama feels like he just relapsed to the same old problem. He's back to killing everything in just one punch, and he's pissed. Season 2 kicks off with Saitama and Genos going shopping, while a man in a hat walks by behind them. Turns out this unassuming man is actually King, the rank 7 S-Class hero. King is supposedly the strongest man on Earth, and has kept that title even with the association discovering Saitama. And we see King's aura in action, when a monster gives up just by looking at him. Saitama and Genos decide to spy on King as he leaves a video game store. And what was the strongest man in the world buying? Heartthrob Hottie Sisters 2. Really? Just then, another enemy shows up. This time, it's a super high-spec cyborg made by the Organization, a mysterious and shady group with hella technology. You'll remember them as the people that Hammerhead and the Paradisers stole their suits from. Anyway, the cyborg says it's here to collect data on King. So, King says he needs to go to the bathroom first, because apparently he can only fight at 50% power unless he's relieved. The cyborg gives King 10 minutes, and says he'll kill 10 humans for every extra minute he takes. So, King goes to the bathroom, and he's scared shitless. Wait, what? Turns out, King isn't a strong hero at all. He's just a regular dude. So how the hell did he become an S-Class hero? Well, you know all those monsters Saitama killed before joining the association? Well, King just happened to be close by every time and ended up with all the credit for it. Before he knew it, he was an S-class hero, but now there's no way to scam a victory here. So he does the only thing he can. He runs. As he's leaving, he sees Genos fighting the cyborg. Saitama asks Genos if he needs help, but Genos says he'll do this himself. Hearing that, Saitama heads off. Questionable teaching method, but okay. Meanwhile, King makes it back home and boots up his romance video game, only to realize Saitama is peeking over his shoulder. King recognizes Saitama from an S-class meeting and pretends like he got the wrong game. Saitama says he wants to play a fighting game, so they do. Meanwhile, Genos is fighting the cyborg and he manages to take it down, only for a smaller cyborg to pop out of it and start the fight again. We then return to King's house, where Saitama asks the guy why he ran away. Isn't he supposed to be an S-class hero? King struggles to find an answer while Genos is struggling against the cyborg and his lasers, until he comes up with a plan. Meanwhile, a giant bird suddenly attacks King's apartment. Saitama stops it with one hand and asks King what he's gonna do. Isn't he gonna fight the bird? King is just standing there, frozen in fear, thinking about how big of a fraud he is. While Genos finally manages to pin the cyborg, King realizes Saitama is the guy that saved him so many times, and confesses the truth. When King opens his eyes, the bird is gone, and Saitama confronts him about everything. Saitama doesn't care about King stealing his credit, but the fact is that people look up to King as a strong hero. So, if he doesn't plan on quitting, King should start working on becoming strong. With that, Saitama leaves, saying he'll be back to play video games. Now that is a great teaching moment. Meanwhile, Genos takes the cyborg he beat to Dr. Kuseno. There, Genos asks the doctor to use parts from the cyborg to improve his own abilities. He needs to get stronger. They then have a heart-to-heart about the cyborg that destroyed Genos' hometown, and Dr. Kuseno tells Genos to make sure that if he ever runs into the cyborg, he needs to call Dr. Kuseno first. We then cut to the Hero Association HQ, where Sitch has gathered a bunch of criminals, with some A-class heroes to keep him safe. Apparently, monsters have been attacking at a higher rate than ever, and the heroes can't keep up. So, the association is offering criminals a chance to wipe their slates clean and join the heroes. Sonic is there too, but he's only interested in fighting Saitama. He'd rather die than team up with these heroes. Sonic isn't the only one looking for Saitama though, because B-class rank 1 hero Fubuki is out for him too. She's an Esper like Tatsumaki, which isn't surprising. After all, they're sisters. The episode ends with both Fubuki and Sonic looking for Saitama, while Saitama himself is playing video games with King. Classic One Punch Man. Episode 2 starts with Sitch begging the criminals to join them, but one of them refuses before challenging everyone there to a fight. So, who's our mystery man? It's none other than Garou, Bang's rogue student. Sitch just tells the A-class heroes to get rid of Garou, but that's easier said than done because Garou is a complete menace. The A-class heroes try attacking him, but Garou proceeds to take down every single one of them with complete ease. Badass! Seeing this, all the criminals start cheering for Garou, but Garou tells them to stop celebrating. He's taking out all the criminals next. You see, here's the thing about Garou. He doesn't see himself as human. No, Garou thinks he's a monster, so any human, villain, or hero can catch these hands. Garou takes out all the criminals there, and the place is a total bloodbath. Sitch calls in S-class heroes for backup. Now, Garou is a realistic man. He knows he can't take on multiple S-class heroes at once, yet. But Madame Shibabawa's prediction said there will be a world-ending catastrophe in 6 months, and Garou believes he is that catastrophe. He just needs to get stronger. And with that, Garou leaves. Talk about an introduction! Meanwhile, Genos is doing the dishes and Saitama is playing a video game. Looks like King got him hooked. Genos tells Saitama that he's rank 7 in B-class now. while Genos himself is 14 in S-Class. That's when Genos senses someone approaching and goes out to deal with them. Turns out it's Sonic, who has found Saitama's address and is here for a fight. He's gonna have to get through Genos first. 20 minutes later, Saitama gets a knock on his door. It's Fubuki and her cronies. She makes Saitama an offer. Join her group, and she'll make sure he never drops from the top of B-Class. But Saitama has his sights set on A and S-Class, so he refuses. Fubuki's cronies attack him, so Saitama sends them flying naturally. Fubuki decides it's her battle now, so she uses her telekinesis to conjure up a tornado, and she hits Saitama with it. Of course, Saitama is unfazed by all of her attacks. He just calls Fubuki a poser, saying only weaklings like her care about rankings and all that bullshit. The real heroes just do whatever they can to protect people. Preach, Baldi, preach! But their fight is cut short because Genos and Sonic show up. Oh, and Fubuki can't believe that Saitama is Genos' master. Anyway, their fight has been going on for a while, and they're at a stalemate. Genos can't hit Sonic, and Sonic can't damage Genos. Genos then uses his new implants and gets a crazy speed boost. He's pushing Sonic to the edge and even cuts off his hair. That's when Sonic pulls out his secret move. He creates after images of himself, making it impossible for Genos to hit him. Genos decides to blow the entire place up until Saitama stops him. I mean, nobody wants their neighborhood destroyed. Saitama says Genos and Sonic have no reason to fight anyway. Saitama tells Sonic he'll even take him on seriously just this once and gets ready for battle. So Sonic pulls out his even more powerful super move, 10 after images. Unfortunately, Saitama pulls out like 50 of them, and the mere shockwaves knock Sonic out cold. After that, Fubuki tells them why she's like this. You see, being Tatsumaki's younger sister, she was never number 1 at anything. So, when she made B-Class rank 1, she decided to take control and make allies so she could surpass Tatsumaki. Weird and jealous, basically. Genos asks her why she doesn't go to A-Class rank 1, and she says it's because of the top 4. Ranks 4, 3, and 2 are all Atomic Samurai students, while rank 1 is of course a Mai Mask. She says that while Saitama is strong, he's nothing like those guys, or even King. Speaking of King, he shows up looking for the game Saitama borrowed from him, and Fubuki is stunned. How does Saitama know so many S-Class heroes? And the answer is simple. Saitama is the strongest. Back at the Association HQ, they're deciding nicknames for Saitama and Genos. Genos gets Demon Cyborg, while Saitama gets Caped Baldi. They did him so dirty. Sitch, however, is more worried about Garou. Although everyone says he's not a big deal, Sitch knows something is off about that fella. The episode ends with Garou taking down yet another A-Class rank hero, Tank Top Vegetarian. Dude really wants to be the final villain so bad. The next episode opens with a pretty depressing scene. Bang has beaten Charanko senseless, says he has no talent for martial arts, and expels him from the dojo. But why? Charanko takes his troubles to Saitama and Genos, who help him figure out what's up. Turns out, Bang is just scared that Garou will come to his dojo for revenge, and he doesn't want Charanko to get caught in the mess. Damn, he's just looking out for the kid. Later, Charanko is thinking about what to do when he sees Garou. Garou has run into Mumen Rider and is about to kill the GOAT when the whole Tank Top gang shows up. You remember Tank Top Vegetarian, Tank Top Tiger, and Tank Top Black Hole? Well, they belong to a group of heroes who exclusively wear tank tops called the Tank Topper Army. They are led by the S-Class hero Tank Top Master, who pummels Garou, and their fight begins. Meanwhile, Bang is joined by his older brother Bomb. Bomb isn't a hero, but he's a top-tier martial artist too, and together they're gonna take down Garou. Speaking of Garou, he's struggling against Tank Top Master, who's about to kill him, until Mumen Rider jumps in. Mumen Rider says Tank Top Master shouldn't be using his powers to kill humans, and Tank Top Master agrees. He was just about to cross a line. Tank Top Master tells Garou to stop attacking heroes. Yeah, right. Garou refuses and the fight begins again, but this time Garou goes all out, and he absolutely destroys Tank Top Master. With the S-Class hero on his knees, Garou takes out Mumen Rider and turns his attention to the rest of the Tank Top group. Tank Top Master tries fighting again, but Garou knocks him out for good this time, before unleashing hell on his group. Charanko is seeing all this and is scared as hell. Still, he decides to go fight Garou anyway. You can imagine how that ended. The next day, Bang and Bomb show up to the scene, only to find every hero, including Charanko, beaten to a bloody pulp. Saitama then visits Mumen Rider and Tank Top Master in the hospital. After giving them some bananas, they tell him about Garou. He is human, but his aura and the way he fights scream monster. Meanwhile, Garou is talking to a kid who has a hero almanac, a book that has all the details about heroes. Garou strikes a friendship with the kid and peeks at his almanac. This kid is all about heroes, but Garou is more into the monsters. He says they're more interesting. After getting info on Golden Ball, Garou heads off, but the hero hunter will soon be back to meet the kid. Meanwhile, Tank Top Master tells Saitama what makes Garou so dangerous. It's his martial arts. So Saitama goes to Charanko to learn more about martial arts. Charanko gives Saitama a ticket to a martial arts tournament he signed up for, but while Charanko wants Saitama to go watch the tournament, Saitama has other ideas. He wants to participate. Meanwhile, Garou finds Golden Ball and picks a fight with him, so they start their battle in an empty alleyway, and Golden Ball's looking like he's gonna be a problem for Garou. Turns out that's not the case. Garou proceeds to dodge and deflect all of Golden Ball's shots, leaving him stunned. Luckily, that's when Spring Mustachios shows up and starts attacking Garou. He unleashes his special move, only for Garou to tank it and destroy him. After all, their special moves are all written in the Hero Almanac, and Garou did his homework. After taking the A-Class heroes out, Garou spares some time to beat up a director of the Hero Association too, and that's when Garou runs into Saitama. One small problem, neither of them know each other. Garou assumes he's a hero going after him and attacks. Saitama is completely unaffected and thinks Garou is a robber, so he knocks Garou out cold before buying a wig that looks a lot like Charanko's hair. The next episode starts with us seeing Garou as a kid. Turns out, when he was watching cartoons as a kid, he was always rooting for the monsters. Of course, they never won, and that frustrated Garou. So, he decided to become the strongest monster himself, and he would lose to no one. Garou then wakes up on some trash bags, and he has no memory of being knocked out by Saitama. Surely that won't be a recurring theme. Anyway, the Hero Association is on high alert. Garou beating the shit out of a director from the Hero Association means that every other director's life is in danger. As a result, all the directors have been instructed to stay at home, and those who want to leave their houses need to be accompanied by an S-Class hero. While King refuses to play bodyguard, Metal Bat agrees, and he instantly regrets it. He's looking after this posh director and his posh son, and he just hates the way they do things. He steps away to take a phone call from his younger sister, and that's when the monsters attack. They're here to kidnap the director's son, but Metal Bat isn't gonna let that happen. Meanwhile, Saitama sneaks into the martial arts tournament disguised as Charanko. One small problem with that: Charanko's old senior and former Bang disciple Sourface is there too. While Saitama hides his face, Sourface starts babbling about why he's at the tournament. One, because Bang won it way back in the day, and two, because Garou won the last tournament disguised as another participant. This hero hunter has been busy. Speaking of Garou, he's back with the kid from the last episode and is going through the Hero Almanac. Meanwhile, Sourface explains to Saitama how he used to be part of Bang's dojo, and how Garou just went on a rampage one day. Ever since then, Sourface left the dojo and has been honing his skills. He wants to win the tournament to prove his skills before taking on Garou. He then starts making fun of Charanko until Saitama decides to step up for the orange-haired kid. He says that, since Sourface ran from the dojo, he has no right to tell Charanko anything. This pisses Sourface off, who says he'll just fight Chiranko in the tournament and they'll find out who's stronger. Yeah, you will. Meanwhile, Metal Bat has successfully defended the director and his kid from the monsters, only for another monster to show up. It's called Senior Centipede, and it has backup. Meanwhile, Mumen Rider tells Chiranko that Saitama would never join the contest posing as Chiranko, while Saitama is literally in the contest posing as Chiranko. Mumen Rider is too kind. Back with Garou, he's getting info on the heroes from the kid, when a warning siren goes off, saying Metal Bat is fighting some monsters. The kid heads home, but Garou just smiles. He's going after Metal Bat. Speaking of Metal Bat, he's taking on the two monsters, but he's struggling. One of them is releasing a sleeping gas and it's starting to take effect. Senior Centipede starts smacking Metal Bat around and he's losing consciousness. So Metal Bat smacks himself in the head with his bat. Ouch! It completely erases the sleeping gas's effects and brings out his fighting spirit. With it, he beats both monsters in one swing each. Badass! The Hero Association is happy until they realize they have a bigger problem, because the ground bursts open and out comes Elder Centipede. Forget monsters, this thing is on par with Godzilla. Metal Bat tells two other heroes to take the director and his son to safety while he deals with Elder Centipede. Great plan, Metal Bat. Just one question. How in the hell are you gonna fight that? Elder Centipede charges, and Metal Bat tries attacking, only to find that his shell is hard as hell. The monster tosses Metal Bat aside, but he knows the Centipede's weakness, that ugly-ass face of his. So, Metal Bat makes his way across the Centipede's back and attacks its hideous face, doing some damage. Still, the sheer size of this thing is unbelievable, and it smacks Metal Bat aside again. While the heroes are getting the director and his son as far away as possible, Garou shows up in the distance, watching Elder Centipede wreaking havoc. That's when Metal Bat crash lands right next to the hero hunter. Garou thinks he's dead, only for Metal Bat to get back up just like that, and it's business as usual. What the hell is this guy made of? Seeing this, Garou attacks Metal Bat. He's found his next prey. This is gonna be a fun fight. The following episode sees the association discussing what to do about the Elder Centipede. We then see another S-Class hero show up. It's Metal Knight. He tells the heroes protecting the director and his son to make a break for it. Unfortunately, they're cornered by monsters too, and that's when the association realizes what's happening. Monsters of demon level, which means they're a threat to the entire city, are above and attacking each and every city at the same time. Oh god! Meanwhile, Garou is pounding an already injured Metal Bat, and he thinks this is gonna be a quick one, but something is off. Somehow, the more damage Metal Bat takes, the harder and faster his swings are. Garou is bamboozled. This dude literally makes no sense. Still, Garou manages to parry all of his attacks and sends him flying. Thinking Metal Bat is down, Garou realizes his hands are shaking. If Metal Bat landed even a single blow, it might have destroyed him. That's when Garou sees it. Metal Bat secretly attacks him. Metal Bat is literally an inch away from bashing in Garou's face when Metal Bat's younger sister Zenko shows up. Seeing her, Metal Bat just stops. That was your chance, man! Garou sees this and, confused, does the only thing he knows. He just hits Metal Bat again. But Zenko steps in between them and says they can't fight. Why? Because Metal Bat promised Zenko not to fight when she's around. To everyone's shock, Garou actually listens to her. He tells Metal Bat he gets to live for now, but he'll be back later. I love Garou, but that's some fake cockiness. Metal Bat had him. Anyway, as Garou heads off, a monster named Phoenix Man and his teammate watch him from above. The other monster sees it as an opportunity to take Zenko hostage, only to be stopped by Garou. Before a fight breaks out, Phoenix Man hands Garou a card. It's an invitation to join the Monster Association. So that's why every place is being attacked. These evil scumbags teamed up. Garou rips the card to shreds. He's not interested in teaming up. Phoenix Man just laughs and flies away, telling Garou they'll meet again. Phoenix Man then calls off the other monsters, including Elder Centipede. They grab the director's son and they head off. Damn, just like that. Meanwhile, Saitama is at the tournament, and all the contestants are introduced. There are a lot of them, but our main focus is on two, Bakuzan and Suiryu. Bakuzan is a 2-time winner who just looks evil, while Suiryu is a 4-time winner, and he's your standard ladies man, but with hella martial arts. Sourface is nervous, so Saitama goes to buck him up. There, another competitor calls Saitama an amateur and tells him to give up or he's gonna destroy him. Sure you are, buddy. Saitama just tells this doofus to back up all the trash talk in the ring. I hope they fight. Meanwhile, Bang and Bomb are out looking for Garou, and Bang is mad. So, when he sees a monster, Bang decides to blow off some steam by whooping the monster's ass. Scary. Unfortunately, the other heroes aren't doing so well. Across different towns, even A-class heroes are getting mauled and destroyed by monsters of all kinds. The Hero Association is in big trouble. With Metal Bat out cold and Metal Knight going after Elder Centipede, they're missing 2 S-class heroes too. At least it can't get worse, right? Lucky for the heroes, reinforcements have arrived. Fubuki and her gang are here. Fubuki begins to fight this sick sadist monster that can make people slaves by hitting them with her whip. Not even touching that with a 10-foot pole. Meanwhile, the tournament begins. Lightning Max wins his first match and Saitama is up next. Naturally, he knocks the bum out in one hit. But while everyone sees Saitama's opponent as weak, one man sees his strength, Suiryu. Who expects to meet Saitama in the final? That would be fun to watch, I think. Episode 6 starts with the tournament continuing. It's time for Suiryu's first match, and he's up against Lightning Max. Lightning Max wants to win this tournament to get stronger and be a better hero, but Suiryu knocks him out with a single kick. Suiryu then explains why he wants to be strong, so he can live the easy life. I mean, I guess that's a valid choice. Everyone is super impressed by Suiryu, except Saitama, of course. That's when Genos gets an alert on his phone. There are monsters attacking nearby. The tournament organizers get the same update, and they're about to cancel the tournament, but Bakuzan stops them. After all, they're surrounded by masters of martial arts. There's no safer place to be. Fair point, but I don't know how Jujutsu is gonna stop the Elder Centipede. Anyway, the tournament carries on, with Snek winning his matchup. Meanwhile, Genos goes around town taking out one monster after the other. It's time for Sourface's match now, and he's both confident and nervous. Real. Meanwhile, Genos brutally incinerates another monster. God, he's so cool! Genos gets informed where the last one is and heads there to find a disgusting cockroach man. Yeah. The thing about this cockroach guy is he's really fast. Genos has his work cut out for him. Meanwhile, Sourface wins his match and it's Saitama's turn next. He's going up against Bakuzan, and nobody is giving him a chance. Bakuzan starts explaining how he's gonna destroy Charanko until he touches Saitama's wig. Uh-oh. Saitama gets mad and just smacks him, sending him flying out of the ring. The whole audience is stunned before they start cheering. Suiryu sees this and decides he's gonna do a one-hit knockout too. Meanwhile, the Hero Association realizes that the director's son has been kidnapped. Now, this particular director brings the association a lot of money, so they put a priority on bringing the kid back. That's when they get the bad news. Metal Bat is in critical condition. Please, God, let him survive. Meanwhile, Genos is having a hard time keeping up with this cockroach's speed. He's taken a lot of damage. Luckily, he already fought someone with insane speed before, and this time, he has a plan. As the cockroach tries attacking Genos from behind, it's suddenly stopped in its tracks. Why? Because Genos covered the floor with super adhesive glue. Genos installed this after his fight with Sonic, though he never wanted to use it. In any case, he has the cockroach dead to rights and unleashes an attack, only for the monster to sacrifice its legs and escape. Genos doesn't think too much of it and turns to leave, only to be ambushed by something else. Meanwhile, Fubuki is still fighting with the Kinky Monster. Don't even ask. And she's struggling. Kinky Monster has mind-controlled all of Fubuki's lackeys and is pitting them against her. Despite being outnumbered and taking a lot of damage, Fubuki is holding her own. Lucky for her, she doesn't have to, because Tatsumaki senses her younger sister in pain and shows up immediately. Fubuki's mind uncontrolled goons attack Tatsumaki, so she gently sends them flying into a building. Ow! Kinky Monster gets away though, so that's gonna be a problem later. Meanwhile, Snek is fighting Suiryu, and Snek realizes just how weak he is. Genos, Saitama, the Deep Sea King, everything lately has just been showing him he's not as strong as he thought he was. Suiryu agrees. He calls Snek weak and says he's useless. But Suiryu doesn't stop there. He says all heroes are useless. As monsters keep attacking different places, including the hospital where Mumen Rider and Tank Top Master are at, Suiryu tells Snake that heroes are useless because the strong survive no matter what, and he's strong. He's also a dick, but whatever. And at that exact moment, Garou pulls up to 1v1 Watchdog Man. Meanwhile, the monster named Gyoro is giving an update to someone. Genos, Metal Bat, and Metal Knight have all been neutralized, all while the Monster Association's greatest weapons still haven't been unleashed. Gyoro says everything is going well, as we see who he's talking to, Monster King Orochi. Oh boy! The next episode starts with Sourface going up against Saitama and being smacked away like everyone else. Still, Sourface has no ill will against Chiranko and wishes him luck for the semifinals. Semifinals already? That was fast. Anyway, the monsters are still rampaging through the cities. Unfortunately for them, it's the heroes' turn to fight back. S-Class has arrived. Drive Knight, Child Emperor, and Pig God all show up to take down monsters. While Child Emperor comes up with an antidote for this snake monster's poison, Pig God just eats the monster. Damn! Back with Saitama, he's in the semifinal against Chose, who's supposed to be a genetic freak of nature and sends him flying in one punch. So, the final is set. Suiryu versus Chiranko. In another city, some A-class heroes are fighting against a giant octopus monster, but they're not doing a lot of damage. Lucky for them, S-class hero Flashy Flash shows up and starts attacking the monster all over, but he can't even stop the monster. Still, Flashy Flash is about to unleash his secret move, until the octopus starts floating. Why? Because Tatsumaki is here. She crushes the octopus like it's nothing, before calling everyone, including Flashy Flash, useless bums and flying off. Based Tatsumaki. Gyoro informs the monster about what's happening, but he's not worried. After all, they can make as many monsters as they want. Huh? We then cut to Atomic Samurai, Chad, who's having a meeting with the Golden Order of the Sword, a group of the very best swordsmen on the planet. He wants their help to find and kill Garou, and all of them agree except Haragiri. Haragiri then reveals something shocking. He's teamed up with the Monster Association. He then gives the swordsman some monster cells. If you eat one of those, you turn into a monster. Haragiri himself has already turned into one, and wants everyone to join him too. They refuse, of course, and Atomic Samurai wastes no time in slicing and dicing this bum into oblivion. With that, Atomic Samurai isn't after Garou anymore. He's after the Monster Association. Let's go! Meanwhile, it's time for Saitama and Suiryu's match. They have a little chat and explain their motivations. Suiryu's here for the money and to have fun, while Saitama's here for the money and to experience martial arts. So, they make a deal. Saitama will make sure Suiryu has fun, and Suiryu will make sure Saitama gets the full martial arts experience. So, the match begins. But Saitama has a problem. Suiryu's attacks are so fast they might blow off his wig. So he holds onto the wig while tanking Suiryu's best attacks and being completely unaffected. Suiryu starts getting annoyed, so he asks what Saitama does. When he says he's a hero, Suiryu mocks him and all the others. Suiryu says that most heroes are basically useless, and Saitama is not happy to hear this bullshit. You know it's bad when Saitama makes that face. As Suiryu launches a kick, Saitama doesn't dodge or block. The kick does nothing, but it does send Saitama's wig flying. Saitama then tells Suiryu he's full of shit and that other people have dreams and things they want to do. He then fake punches Suiryu, and it's enough to rip his shirt to shreds. Unfortunately, wearing headgear is against the rules, so Saitama gets disqualified. But Suiryu isn't done fighting. Not even close. He suddenly attacks Saitama, saying the real fight is just beginning. He proceeds to show Saitama all of his moves and skills. And I can't lie, he may be an asshole, but Suiryu is really skilled. This guy is easily an S-class level guy, but no matter what he does, there is a class above S-class, and Saitama is in there all by himself. After declaring that martial arts are just cool looking moves and nothing to brag about, Saitama literally beats Suiryu with his hips. That's right, Saitama kicked ass with ass. Wow! The security guards then start chasing him, and Saitama makes a run for it. What a man! The following episode starts with Suiryu celebrating his tournament win. He knows that Saitama could have killed him if he wanted, but he decides to not focus on that. That's when it happens. A bunch of monsters attack the arena. They're led by this big monster named Goketsu, who is a dragon-level threat. Goketsu just pulls up with one simple mission. Every martial artist is going to turn into a monster. After taking out Lightning Max and Snek without breaking a sweat, Goketsu reveals his backstory. Turns out, Goketsu was the winner of the very first martial arts tournament, but he went missing shortly after. Everyone thought he was killed by a monster, but in reality, he was recruited by them. Now, as a monster, he makes the same offer to the martial artists. Most of them refuse, but a couple of them, including Chose, decide to take a bite of the forbidden fruit. Suiryu sees this as an opportunity to score a date with the ring girl and easily takes out the other monsters. However, Chose is no pushover and their fight begins. It's pretty neck and neck, and Suiryu is impressed. Chose is tough. Chose then charges up a big beam of energy, planning to send everyone to hell, but Suiryu blocks it before finishing Chose off. Badass! Goketsu says Suiryu is special. He should consider turning into a monster. But Suiryu says nah. He doesn't want to be that ugly. Real! Suiryu then attacks Goketsu, only to be pummeled. Again and again and again. Over and over, Goketsu smacks Suiryu around, taunting him the entire time. Meanwhile, Garou starts his fight with Watchdog Man after a brief delay, and realizes he's seriously underestimated him. Watchdog Man has that dog in him, and on him. Meanwhile, Suiryu realizes the truth. There's no way he can beat Goketsu, so he tries making a run for it, only for Goketsu's crow monsters to stop him. Now backed into a corner, Suiryu knows he's cooked if he doesn't do something. That's when he sees Bakuzan just standing there and asks him for help, and Bakuzan decides to help the monsters. He eats all the monster cells. Unfortunately, it's too much for him and he collapses. While Mumen Rider is struggling against a monster in the hospital, trying to stop it from attacking the patients, Suiryu is totally outnumbered by the crows, until Lightning Max and Snek show up. Tank Top Master also helps Mumen Rider in the hospital. Anyway, together, the three of them take out the crow monsters, and Suiryu is ready to make a run for it. Lightning Max and Snek say they'll hold Goketsu off and give him time to run away. Suiryu thinks they're crazy and bolts, only to run into a totally monsterified Bakuzan. Bakuzan starts beating the ever-loving snot out of Suiryu, pounding him over and over again, laughing the whole time. Meanwhile, Gyoro says all three phases of their plan have been successful. 1. Spread fear and confusion. 2. Capture a valuable hostage. And 3. Turn humans into monsters. Gyoro calls Goketsu back to the lair, and Goketsu tells Bakuzan to come with him. Bakuzan tries attacking Goketsu, but Goketsu shows him the difference in their power level. He then tells Bakuzan to find the Monster Association in the wasteland outside City Z and heads off. Meanwhile, Suiryu begs Bakuzan for his life, who just laughs and says nah. He continues his beatdown of Suiryu, who suddenly has a change of heart, and starts calling out for the names of heroes he was mocking just an hour ago. But the only heroes in sight are out cold, and Bakuzan is about to crush Suiryu. But when Bakuzan raises his foot, Suiryu is gone. Bakuzan then sees what happened. Suiryu was saved by Saitama. Saitama heard Suiryu's cries for help and showed up just to save him. He then tells Suiryu that he fought well before facing Bakuzan. Well, it was nice knowing you, Bakuzan. Episode 9 starts with Saitama facing off against Bakuzan. Bakuzan remembers who he is, as does Suiryu, but Saitama can't remember Bakuzan at all. What follows is the usual. Bakuzan's best attacks do nothing against Saitama, and he destroys Bakuzan with just one punch. Suiryu thanks Saitama and tells him about the Monster Association and Goketsu. Saitama asks where Goketsu went and starts following him. This shocks Suiryu, who tries to stop Saitama, and of course, the Caped Baldy goes on anyway, and Suiryu cries in fear of him dying, until Goketsu's head lands right in front of Suiryu. Classic. Seeing how strong and noble Saitama is, Suiryu asks if Saitama thinks he could be a hero. Suiryu wants to be a hero, but he's scared right now. Saitama says he was scared too when he started out, before the insane power came to him. And Saitama says that if he can do it, anyone can. Suiryu then asks if Saitama would make him his disciple, and Saitama smiles, absolutely not. Peak One Punch Man right here. Meanwhile, we see Puri Puri Prisoner taking on a hedgehog monster, while his fans cheer him on. He uses their support to give the hedgehog a bear hug from hell, crushing it. That's when he gets a call. A monster broke into his prison and turned his fellow inmates into monsters. In the meantime, Saitama finds out that all the monsters have already gone back to their hideout. He was too late. On his way back, Saitama is in a serious crisis. He became a hero so he could have fun, but he got so strong that it just stopped being fun. He then joined the tournament to learn about martial arts and the hero hunter, but even that was boring. That's when Saitama runs into King and tells him about his dilemma. And, to everyone's surprise, King actually had good advice. King says that while Saitama is the strongest, being strong doesn't make you a hero. An unyielding sense of justice, the will to protect others, the need to do good. All of those things are important, and things Saitama lacks. Until he does all of those things, Saitama has no right to be bored. As King puts it, Saitama has a long way to go before he can call himself the greatest hero. Damn, that was deep. It's a real shame King read all that in a manga and didn't come up with it himself. King then tries cheering Saitama up with video games. Meanwhile, Garou is making his way back, and he is a bloody mess. He lost to Watchdog Man, but he's not mad. It was a great learning experience for him. He then sees King and Saitama walking towards him, and immediately attacks King, only to be kicked through a wall by Saitama. Ouch! Ironically, Saitama then tells King about the hero hunter, saying he hopes he runs into him. Well, you already have, buddy. Not once, but twice. We then cut to Sonic, who's training to take down Saitama. Suddenly, he gets attacked by two other ninjas, Tempest Wind and Hellfire Flame. They're from the same village as Sonic, and they're here with an offer. They want Sonic to join the Monster Association. Sonic refuses, so they decide to show him their power. Did I mention they're both monsters too? Sonic is stunned by their power, so they hand him a monster cell and head off. Later, Sonic looks at the monster cell and, realizing it's the only way to beat Saitama, decides to eat it. Oh no! Meanwhile, Bang and Bomb have spent all day killing monsters, but they haven't found Garou yet. Still, Bang won't give up. Since he was the only one who trained Garou, it's only right that he be the one to end him. Cold. Meanwhile, the Hero Association is discussing all the intel they've gathered on the Monster Association, when a possessed member comes in. He has a message from the Monster Association. Back with Sonic, he decides to cook the monster cell before eating it. Unfortunately, not only does he not turn into a monster, he gets diarrhea instead. It's probably for the best. The next episode starts with Saitama and King playing a video game. And, as usual, Saitama is getting his ass handed to him. In between games, Saitama sees something, an instant update device the association gave King to. It's so he can know immediately when something goes down, and when they start playing again, it starts going off. Oh boy. Meanwhile, the Hero Association hears out the Monster Association's message. Gyoro speaks to them directly, delivering his message. It's simple. Gyoro says the monsters just want a world where humans and monsters can coexist peacefully. When asked about the violence, Gyoro says it was a necessary evil. They had to show they meant business. After hearing all this, the board members agree to their demands. They don't really plan on becoming friends with monsters, but they'll lead them on until they get the director's son back. Unfortunately, that's when it happens. The messenger shoots a board member. Turns out this whole peace thing was a prank by Gyoro. What the Monster Association really wants is to kill all humans. Shocker. Gyoro then tells the Hero Association that they have 3 days to gather their strongest heroes and come collect the director's son before going away. S-Class hero Super Alloy Blackluster deals with the messenger, but the association is in shambles. They have no idea what to do. So Super Alloy says he'll take it from there. Not gonna lie, this guy looks strong. Meanwhile, the Monster Association is having a meeting where Gyoro is discussing their plans. One small problem though, while Gyoro is totally loyal to the Monster King Orochi, not everyone shares that sentiment. One of these not so loyal monsters is the cockroach Genos was fighting. So, as a display of power, Orochi grabs the cockroach monster and eats him. Jesus Christ! Gyoro offers everyone the chance to fight Orochi, and nobody wants that smoke. Gyoro is pretty smug about his plan going so smoothly, until he sees Goketsu's body missing its head. Looks like taking over humanity won't be as easy as he thought. Meanwhile, Garou wakes up battered and bruised. The last thing he remembers is going at King, so he assumes King was the one that knocked him out. Damn, he has no idea who Saitama is. Garou sees A-class hero Death Gatling, but decides he's too injured to take him on, and goes back to his hideout, but Death Gatling noticed him. The next day, news about the Monster Association's recent attacks get leaked to the press, and everyone reads about it in the newspaper. This includes monsters who start making their way over to City Z to join the Monster Association. Unfortunately, they run into Saitama and get cooked instead. Meanwhile, the kid with the hero almanac, his name is Tareo by the way, he's with his friends, and they have a problem. Someone is in their hideout. They send Tareo alone to chase the intruder out, even though he doesn't want to. So, Tareo goes there, only to see that the intruder is Garou. He's having a hard time recovering from his wounds, and has a fever too. Still, Garou tells Tareo that he needs to stand up for himself, and that his friends can take it up with Garou himself if they have a problem with that. Aww, he actually does care about the kid. Unfortunately for Garou, Death Gatling rallied a bunch of heroes and he's surrounded Garou's hideout. Garou keeps talking to Tareo, unaware of the gank squad waiting for him outside. After their chat, Tareo is about to head outside when Garou stops him. He's sensed all the heroes surrounding the shack hideout. He borrows Tareo's almanac one last time and checks out the heroes he's up against. 5 A-class heroes and 3 B-class heroes. Normally, that'd be a cakewalk for him, but in the shape he's in right now, this is gonna be a rough one. Garou steps outside, telling the heroes not to shoot the shack. He's genuinely worried about Tareo. The heroes give Garou a chance to turn himself in, but Garou refuses. He plans to go hunting again no matter what happens. Unfortunately, in his current state, hunting is gonna be pretty hard. Bullets, poison arrows, big hammers, scythes, Garou has to deal with all sorts of attacks. What's more, the heroes have him covered at short, medium, and long-range combat. 2 poison arrows hit him, and now Garou is injured, poisoned, tired, and outnumbered. The hunter has finally become the hunted. The next episode starts with Death Gatling explaining his motivations. Basically, he's tired of S-class heroes getting all the credit. So, he gathered a bunch of A and B-class heroes to take down the hero hunter who got so famous for hunting S-class heroes. Garou just laughs, saying their fans would be pretty upset if they heard that. That's when the poison starts taking effect, and Garou is having a hard time breathing. He's not having a good time. Garou remembers when he was a kid at school. While everyone at school rooted for the hero Justice Man, Garou sympathized with the villain and his motivations. But he was all alone back then, and he's all alone now, as he's going 1v8 with about 5 debuffs on himself. Unfortunately for the heroes, they underestimate just how skilled Garou is. He memorizes their attack patterns and begins using the heroes' attacks against each other. Doing this, he manages to take out 4 heroes, leaving Stinger, Death Gatling, Smile Man, and Glasses. Garou starts running away from Glasses before challenging Stinger to a 1v1. Stinger accepts, only to realize it was a trap. Garou takes out Smile Man, and now it's 1v3. Death Gatling tries shooting Garou, but Garou just uses Glasses as cover, punching him the entire time. Now, Glasses is another guy who was inspired by Saitama to be a hero, but motivation isn't enough against a monster like Garou. Glasses is getting his face punched in. Ouch! Garou uses his ass whooping of Glasses as bait to lure Stinger in, and the A-class hero bites. This results in one of the nastiest punch combos I've ever seen, and Stinger gets taken down too. It's just Gatling versus Garou now. Garou tells Gatling to not shoot, there's a kid in the shack, but Gatling doesn't believe him and unleashes all of his bullets right at Garou. So Garou proceeds to deflect all of his bullets, making sure Tereo doesn't get a single scratch. When the dust settles, Garou is still standing. He mocks Gatling, saying he should have just called in an S-class hero. Elite rage baiting. Gatling tries coming at Garou with a knife, but just gets smacked into the air. Garou then runs into Tereo, who is now terrified of Garou and runs away. Damn, that's gotta hurt. Anyway, Garou may have won, but he's feeling the effects of the poison now. He starts walking back to the shack, desperate for some water, when something lands on him. Or should I say, someone. Genos is here. Glasses called for backup, and he's here to take out the hero hunter. Garou's really in for it now. The fight begins and Garou is seriously on the back foot. If both were 100%, this would be a dream fight to watch, but as it stands, Garou is decidedly on the back foot. Still, he's getting hits in here and there, but Genos is barely taking any damage, and Garou is running out of gas. Meanwhile, we see Saitama still losing to King in video games before they talk about the Monster Association and everything that's happened. That's when King mentions that Genos hasn't been home in a while, so Saitama decides to go check on his disciple. Meanwhile, Genos has Garou cornered, and the hero hunter is desperate, so he starts copying Watchdog Man's fighting style and manages to tear off Genos' arm. Unfortunately, the arm still works and it pins Garou to a tree. There, Genos calls Garou a nobody and is about to fry him, but Garou ain't no nobody and breaks the tree to escape. He can do all that and he's at like 30%. Garou is the man. As he breaks free, Garou starts tweaking and Genos sees it. He's different now. His right eye is red and his hair is orange. He's turning into a monster in real time. That's when goons from the Monster Association show up. They want to take Garou back to their lair. They even offer him an executive position, but Garou refuses. Before they can negotiate, Genos takes them all out. He's about to shoot Garou too, until Bang missile kicks Garou. Bang asks Genos to leave this to him, while Bomb takes out the Monster Association lackeys. Bang, finally face to face with his former disciple, remembers the day that Garou stumbled into his dojo as a young boy, and he's thinking, what the hell happened to this kid? Well, it doesn't matter anymore. Bang is gonna take Garou down for good. He waits for Garou to get up, and the episode ends with them charging at each other. Here we go! The last episode of Season 2 starts with Garou getting taken back to school by Bang. As Genos puts it, the fighting style is the same, but the gap in skill is clear. Garou is good, but Bang is perfect. This leads to a complete and total ass whooping at the hands of Bang, forcing Garou to go Watchdog Man style again. Above them, Phoenix Man is looking for a way to extract Garou, but he just can't find an opening. Meanwhile, Bomb joins in on the ass whooping too, and there's literally no way out for Garou. He is about to die. Garou's life then starts flashing before his eyes. He remembers being the lonely, unpopular kid at school. Every time they played Heroes and Monsters, Garou was always the monster, while this kid named Taddy was always the hero. Taddy was super popular, and he used his influence to bully Garou all the time. And anytime Garou fought back, he'd get blamed as the bad guy. Even when Taddy and his cronies kicked Garou in the face, they'd make him out to be the monster. Garou has been villainized ever since he was a kid, and he's had enough of it. Good, evil, all of that is bullshit. to Garou. He rejects it all. The only thing that matters is survival. As Bang and Bomb go in for the kill, Garou dodges it and attacks the ground, destroying it and startling the heroes. It's enough of an opening for Phoenix Man to swoop in and grab Garou, making an escape. Genos shoots at Phoenix Man and has him cooked until Elder Centipede bursts out of the ground to protect him. As they fly away, Garou says he wants nothing to do with the Monster Association, but Phoenix Man reassures him that it's the best move for him. He then explains that Elder Centipede is a terrible matchup for these guys. According to Phoenix Man, only 4 heroes are bad matchups for the Elder Centipede. Tatsumaki, for obvious reasons, King, yeah right, Metal Knight, and Blast, the #1 hero. Hell, Blast has actually beaten Elder Centipede in the past. The whole reason Elder Centipede is even part of the Monster Association is so he can get his revenge on Blast. I'm shocked we haven't seen Blast yet. Fingers crossed for Season 3. Anyway, Genos distracts Elder Centipede, giving Bang and Bomb the opening to unleash a hellish attack on the overgrown bug. Their combined power is so devastating, it cracks Elder Centipede's unbreakable armor. The old men keep pummeling the monster until it attacks back. Genos saves them, and they watch as their attack tears apart Elder Centipede's armor. They've won, or so they think. Elder Centipede literally just grows its armor back and grows out a new face. This thing is practically immortal. Seeing this, Genos tells Bang and Bomb to make a run for it. He'll distract the monster, but the old men disagree. They tell Genos not to be rash. The youth need to live on. Dr. Kuseno told Genos the same thing, but the demon cyborg disagrees. So he launches himself at Elder Centipede. Genos starts attacking its face, giving it his all. Unfortunately, Elder Centipede bites off his leg before tearing him in half. But Genos refuses to give up. He rejoins his body before using all his power to break Elder Centipede's teeth and get inside his mouth. There, Genos uses his special incineration cannon and burns the monster from the inside out. Bad ass! Unfortunately, even that wasn't enough to take him down. Elder Centipede is still alive. Bang grabs Genos and the old men try to make a run for it. But realizing this could put the city in danger, Bang stops. He takes off his shirt and is ready to give his life to hold the monster off. What a Chad! Luckily, he doesn't have to do that, because King is here with a megaphone and he's taunting the Elder Centipede. King says he brought Blast and starts calling Elder Centipede a coward. So the monster makes a beeline for King and he just stands there until Saitama shows up in front of him at the last second. And the same scene we've witnessed countless times replays itself. Against the most mind-boggling, gargantuan evil humanity has ever seen, all it takes is one punch from Saitama, and he blows the centipede to smithereens. Wow! The guys watching are not even shocked at this point. This is just what Saitama does. This guy could probably destroy the sun in a single punch. After the fight, Genos asks Saitama what he lacks, and Saitama says, power. Duh. Still, Genos takes this as words of wisdom and promises to get stronger. With the threat gone, Saitama wants to go home. But while they won the battle, the war is far from over, because Phoenix Man is taking Garou to the Monster Association, and that is going to be a problem. Guess we'll just have to wait and find out what the monsters are cooking. And that was our recap of One Punch Man. Honestly, you'd think a guy destroying everything with a single punch would get pretty boring, but that's the beauty of One Punch Man. It builds a fantastic world full of freak shows and amazing characters with Saitama at its center. It really makes you think about what it truly means to be a hero. And don't even get me started on the fight sequences and the animation. This show is just goddamn good, and it's definitely worth talking about. Anyway, which heroes and monsters were your favorites? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, because we're gonna be all over Season 3 as soon as it comes out. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.